The universe is an extremely strange place. We as a species have discovered a lot about the nature of reality since the dawn of humanity. Over time we have come up with many different strange and unsettling concepts. So today we are going to be looking at 5 interesting concepts regarding the universe. Number 5. The simulation hypothesis. The proposal that reality is not what it seems to be, and the universe we live in is actually a computer simulation, has become a very talked about hypothesis over the last 20 or so years. Ever since the Matrix trilogy burst onto the mainstream scene, bringing to light a very strange and bone-chilling idea that reality is actually manufactured. There are a large number of people that believe that the simulation theory is likely the reason for the universe's existence. People tend to come to this conclusion through the clear trajectory that we are on, technologically. With the improvements in VR technology, it isn't out of the realm of possibility to think that over time, more and more realistic technology will become available to us, further solidifying that the universe is a simulation to some people. What reasons would there be for setting up an astronomically huge simulation of our universe? The most common consensus is that future humans have created an ancestor simulation. To learn more about their history, or possibly see how different outcomes to different world events may have changed the future for humanity. While this is very interesting, what determines whether we are in a simulation? It is believed that if that technology was possible, all civilizations around the universe would have to agree to not create a simulation, or we can come to the conclusion that it is very likely we could be in a computer simulation. If any of these civilizations happen to create a computer simulation, we can never know which is the true original timeline. So, even a civilization that creates a computer simulation may never truly know if they are a simulation or not. So next time you are deep thinking by yourself, or are having a deep philosophical discussion with your friends, remember, it is possible this reality is not real, and perhaps we could be shut down at any moment. Number 4. The universe is observing itself. When looking at the universe, we notice that it seems to be fine-tuned for life, under a very specific set of circumstances, and the universe being the way that it is, we can observe our environment and see that it is quite suited for life. We have found through different studies that when we observe particles on the quantum level, we can see that they change form. When they are observed, they change form, but without the observation, they actually happen to take on a different form, which is mind-numbing. This extraordinary observation has created room for us to speculate on the nature of the universe. This information has brought theories like the holographic universe, for example, to the forefront. But we today are taking this information and discussing the possibility that we are the universe observing itself into existence. This thought is not a new one and has been a philosophical question that many have pondered, beginning with the thought that God created us to observe his creation, and spanning to what is the more common theory today. While all of this is very interesting, it is hard to know whether we are the universe observing itself, but even if we are, we can take solace in knowing that our purpose of observing the universe allows us to see and experience this beautiful and crazy reality which we live in. Number 3. We are doomed, maybe? We have discussed before on this channel the Great Filter of life in the universe. We will be briefly breaking down what the Great Filter is. The Great Filter is a reason for the lack of evidence for advanced civilizations in the universe. It is proposed through this Great Filter that eventually civilizations end up destroying themselves or die off naturally before reaching the filter. This brings to light a very interesting question, that being, have we passed the Great Filter? Or are we potentially coming up on it soon? It is a very unsettling thing to think about, that our rapidly increasing innovation may catch up to us in a negative way. Sometimes we as humans can become too fixated on creating newer and better technologies that we tend to neglect the possible repercussions of these actions of creating the technology. We must be careful when it comes to experimenting with new technology that has the possibility to end all life on this planet. With the creation of, for example, the nuclear bomb, we as a species have a potentially world-ending device if certain scenarios come to pass. There are many benefits with the innovation of nuclear technology, for example, more efficient energy than fossil fuels. But as has been consistent throughout human history, we take anything that has great potential and weaponize it. Will our tribalistic tendencies of the past cause humanity to go extinct? It seems a quite likely solution. If we have passed the Great Filter, then we could be alone, or life is extremely rare. At least a full-fledged civilization is. All of these new revelations hold many new questions to ponder on when discussing the nature of reality, or the reality of the human experience. So when you are observing the night sky and thinking deeply about life in the universe, try to perplex your own brain with the thought of the Great Filter and what it could hold for the future of humanity. Number 2. Dyson spheres and becoming a Type 2 civilization. While the discussion of becoming a Kardashev Type 2 civilization may not seem as mind-numbing as the universe being a simulation or the universe observing itself, it is still a very relevant topic of discussion for this video today. Hypothetical technologies like the Dyson sphere, which encapsulate the sun and draw power from our natural nuclear reactor, are integral for our civilization's future. If we are thinking long term, we must attempt to discover technology which will help humanity spread out and become a multi-planet civilization. At this current moment in time, on Nikolai Kardashev's proposed scale of civilization's advancements, by looking at how much energy and resources a civilization uses, we are currently at 0.7 on the scale, because we have yet to use planet Earth to its full potential. Once we have reached a Type 1 civilization using Earth's potential, we will be set to the task of becoming a Type 2 civilization and using the sun and its energy to its full potential. This will be quite far in the future for us and will take a lot of work from many generations of smart and talented individuals. The thought of a Type 3 civilization and beyond should not be at the forefront of our priorities, as with the current level of technology that we have, it would take us millions of years to control the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy, and then the entirety of the universe after that, then perhaps even multiple universes. The more and more we discover about the universe and the environment that we live in, do we truly begin to understand how fragile and precious life is. Our goal must be to preserve life at all costs and learn as much about the universe as we can, and minimize the potential extinction of humanity and other life on the planet, and in the universe as a whole. So start drawing up plans for some awesome future technologies. Who knows, maybe one day we will have our very own Death Star. Number 1. The ever-expanding universe. Many scientists predicted that after the Big Bang and the universe began to expand, that the universe's expansion would eventually slow down. But on the contrary to that prediction, the universe has actually been expanding faster gradually over time. Will the universe's expansion ever slow down, or will it continue to expand on for eternity? Is it possible to find evidence for an infinite universe? Even if space is infinite, are atoms? These questions leave me wondering about the complex nature of the universe and how some of the biggest questions could forever stay unanswered. But opposite to that, we could eventually understand everything in the universe. The question I just proposed being if space is infinite, are atoms also infinite or are they finite, is one of the most interesting and game-changing questions to ask. If we come to the conclusion that atoms are infinite, then all of the unsettling possibilities an infinite universe can have would become possible. Are we living in a fairly mundane universe, or has the mind-melting nature of the universe yet to present itself to us? I would like to hear what all of your favourite possibilities of an infinite universe are, so let me know in the comments down below. Perhaps if we do find out the universe is infinite, maybe there is a world out there that is completely made of sweets, and we can all overdose from the huge sugar rush. Well, thank you very much for sticking by for this video. I have been your host, Kieran. Make sure to check out the rest of my top 5 videos on the channel, and subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest content, and become a certified speculator. Have a wonderful day, peace out, much love baby.